Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Today's talk is about the Dharma. Of course, a central topic for Buddhists. Dharma is the second of the three great refuges, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It's what we practice, it's what we learn. We use the word Dharma. It is a Sanskrit word, and in that language it has 10 significances, 10 meanings, and no one English word conveys them all. The etymology, the very heart of it, means that which holds, that which grasps, the essence of something. And in fact, because of that, the word Dharma is the Sanskrit word for things, phenomena. Because each thing holds its own quality. Fire is fire, it's hot, it burns. Water is water, it's wet and flowing. And a thought is a thought, and an emotion is an emotion. And birth, coming into being, is one thing, dying is another. Each thing has its own feeling, nature, moment. So Dharma is the word for this endless expanse of phenomena, of things, of events, both in our mind and in what we call or what we experience as this material, phenomenal world around us. A Buddha means to awake, is someone whose mind is totally awakened to the nature of each and everything. A clear mind, which no longer relates to things through fixed ideas, through a whole history of conditioning. On the contrary, all of the projections, assumptions, and so on are quietened, and in a quiet, still, totally lucid intelligence, each thing is simply what it is. Each person is simply who he is, who she is. And an awakened mind is just aware of that. It's no longer this dialectic of projections and histories encountering each other. It's so simple, and it transcends anything to do with religion or philosophies, fixed ideas. It's the very nature of things as they are. Life as it is, awakening to it. The Buddha realized that clarity of mind 100% totally. It was an amazing journey of hundreds of lifetimes of work that he took in order to get there. And then afterwards, from that clarity, he responded to people's questions, and he also taught them how they themselves could work towards the same clarity. So his teachings we call Dharma. And Dharma falls into two main areas, and then after that, once we develop it, it falls into literally thousands of different categories. Sometimes we talk about the 84,000 Dharmas, or the 12 sections of the Scriptural Dharma, the three main baskets of the Dharma, and so on. But very broadly, it falls into two areas, which are called real Dharma, or the real Dharma, and then the Scriptural Dharma. The real Dharma is a living journey of experience. It's simply the story of your mind, my mind, becoming happier, freer, less encumbered by karma, less encumbered by ignorance, selfishness, pride, jealousy, and all those things. That is something very real. It's something quite unique. Your journey will be very different from mine. Everyone's journey is unique, even though all our journeys end up in the same simple clarity of mind, an unencumbered, limitless, pure mind. But the journey to that is different for each of us, and that is the real Dharma. Because it is a real evolution, development. The second aspect of Dharma is called Scriptural Dharma. And there we have in the books, in the teachings given to us, and so on, all of the words and ideas and descriptions that reflect that journey in all of its stages. Worldly advice, advice for meditators, profound advice for those in very advanced states of mind, advice that suits the different types of people as well. All of those formulations into words, into concepts, are gathered together in our scriptures and in our formalized, structured teachings. But that's not the real Dharma. Just like a guidebook, a book with many pages of information is not the journey. When you travel, you have the smells, the sounds, the real experience. You feel the heat, you breathe the air. The book can tell you the best way to go, the right things to do, the precautions to take. It will be very helpful. It will describe in words. But it's not the same as the journey. Already this is a very important difference. Real Dharma, Scriptural Dharma. Because somebody can be very knowledgeable about the Buddha's teachings, but maybe they're not really developing and changing and evolving as a human being. Other people may be really developing, becoming kinder, more loving, less egocentric, humbler, wiser, without really knowing very much at all of all those structured, formalized teachings. Ideally, the two go together. One does awaken, the mind becomes softer and more open, more caring, informed by very, very good teachings that suit us. But anyway, this first distinction is between the real Dharma, the experience and the change, and the conceptual or the scriptural Dharma. If we look at the real Dharma first, it falls into three famous areas that altogether cover everything. The first is about our relationship with other people, with other sentient beings, and with the environment around us. It's called right conduct. You'll see it sometimes as ethics or morality. Those are the Buddha's teachings and advice. Teachings and advice because they're things that really work, that help us to improve our relationships with each other, our understanding of our responsibility towards the world and the environment in which we live, and every other living, conscious being, by respecting their lives, by respecting their own worlds and realities. The teachings on right conduct have a big focus on karma, cause and effect, because they deal with karma, which means what you are doing. What we are doing to ourselves, our body, our mind. What we are doing to each other, to the world around us. That's one area of real Dharma. Real Dharma. The second area is to do with something much more intimate, our own mind. The way it thinks, the way it feels, the way it reacts, our own inner story, and how we really work with that and change it is through meditation. Meditation then is the second area. It does not just mean specialized techniques, counting the breath, whatever it might be. Meditation is a very broad term. It means, first of all, coming to know yourself and understand yourself through mindfulness and through awareness. And in the light of that mindful awareness, then to work with your thoughts and your emotions and your cognitive and consciousness processes to make your mind a happier mind to be in, more tolerant, filled with experiences of peace and happiness, becoming wiser and wiser about so many different things. Meditation is the real core work on the mind. It's very hands-on. It deals with the thoughts and the emotions and every movement of the mind as it happens. It's learning to work with it like a gardener learns to work with the plants and the earth and the seasons. The third area of real Dharma that we also must cultivate is that of true wisdom. Not the wisdom of concepts and ideas, although that helps us towards it, but wisdom as direct insight into the very nature of things. And this takes us back to the heart meaning of Dharma. Earlier on I mentioned that Dharma means the actual quality, the actual nature of each and everything. But more than that, it's not just each thing all by itself, but how things work together, interrelate, interdepend. One thing triggers another, leads to another. How karma is generated, how consciousness works, how the organs of sight and sound and our nerves, nerve endings, relate with the phenomena of life. Dharma is the understanding of the way things are and the way things work. So when we see the Buddha's wisdom, then it understands not just this moment, but everything that will arise out of this moment through the power of what is being done. Can see many lifetimes into the future. That sort of wisdom that doesn't need to think and work it out and calculate. The wisdom that simply just knows, like a good mechanic knows by listening to the sound of an engine what might go wrong, like a good gardener knows by looking at the sky and looking at the garden what there is to be done, what might happen. Immediate knowledge through profound experience. So we have right conduct with each other and the world, meditation dealing with our mind as it is, as it comes up each moment, making it better mind, and then wisdom which opens up insight to the whole fabric of reality, and in particular into the very nature of ourselves and everything. And as we explore that nature, then we find what we call Buddha mind, Buddha nature, the beauty, the perfection, the truth, the wisdom, the amazing, infinite love that's to be found in everyone, in everything, and in particular in our very own mind. That is the real Dharma. It's that journey of growth and development. After this, in part 2 of these talks on Dharma, we'll look at then how does that become reflected in the scriptures and the teachings that you'll find in the Tripitaka and the 12 main sections of Buddha Dharma. So, see you soon, I hope, for talk 2. As always, thank you very, very, very much for listening. It's such a pleasure to share these things with you. Bye-bye.